Hey, different view again today. Dancing around the kitchen, finding different positions to set up. Nice view of the cobweb duster. We have no questions today. So, and we need a topic. I've had a quiet week on doing things because we've had the flu. Hence, we weren't available last week. I crashed with the flu last week. Still got a bit of the lurgy, as we call it. Excuse me, I just had a bit of sustenance to get my energy up. Had a busy day today. Zaya and myself went to a consultation. So it's a larger consultation than usual, which is exciting. So that's taken up a bit of most of our day today. Zaya's also got website issues, so people cannot log in onto the site. So she's a bit distracted trying to get that to work. And you logged on, Zaya?
Yeah, I'm logged on, but I still need to sort out the front end issues.
So she's having trouble with the website, or the website's having trouble. So she's trying to rectify that. Not that there's much question. No, there's no question. So please, whoever's listening and have a question, throw a question on the chat. Welcome to join in the chat. My brain is not real active, so I probably don't have a lot to say unless we get a topic and thread going. I can't comment too much on this consultation. We've been doing a few consultations lately, one every second or third week or so. That's to go on site and peruse the site, see the issues of the site, and then do some recommendations. And I did one last week, and I haven't finalised that one because I wasn't well, and that was early last week. So I need to get onto that. But the one today is hopefully going to be an ongoing consultation. It's pretty exciting, and it's a bit more office work involved than doing a sketch map. That's my usual procedure, is to go onto site and do a sketch map. So I just draw over the top of a Google Earth picture on my iPad, and we just do the basics just to get people of a better understanding of their landscape that they have access to, and to get it to function better. So that's what I try and achieve. We might have follow-ups afterwards in regards to that, depending on their capacity to understand their space and their ability to do things. I can't do very much physical work. I do the odd little bit here and there because I just don't have the time to leave this space to go and do that. Would love to, and that would be more exciting to actually get on the ground more and do more physical application. But excuse me, just don't have the time to be able to go and do that. I'm not saying I won't do it. This one larger one we're looking at, will be overseeing on the ground works to grow quite a bit of food. So that will be sort of ongoing consultation advisory. So that's very exciting. Actually, we're looking forward to this one. And yeah, so early days. We've only just visited the site, and I actually visited the site quite a few years ago, and seeing the state it's in, it's good. It's in good state and good. There's obviously new owners, and they're going to do some more things. So I cannot elaborate at this stage, but I'd like to. But we will in due course, perhaps, depending on how the approvals go through. So that's sort of taking up a bit of our time at the moment. We've got plenty of things to do on the property. We're still trying to catch up with grass growth, and we still haven't finalised chop and drop, which is getting probably too late to that. We're in our cold. We've moved into the cold. The cold is early this year. The winter's earlier. It's colder earlier. It hasn't been extremely cold. For it just to be the cold that we get down to about 4 degrees Celsius. A couple of nights, 1 week in July. That's our normal pattern. We haven't got to that yet, but we were down to 9 the other day. I haven't checked it It's been warmer the last couple of mornings, but I think the lowest we got to is 9, maybe 7. I haven't really checked that. We was quite brisk the other morning. Not so cold relative to others, but it is. What is a word for that? It is important. A variation from the norm is important. How it influences, because your species will be accustomed to going to a temperature, and if it gets colder, then they're going to shut down. So we have grasses shut down at the best of times in the winter, and so if we get really cold, we are cold earlier, so they've shut down earlier. I've got to be really cautious now. You won't know until you do the next rotation of your cows if you don't have enough bulk to feed your cows, if you're not careful. So I know I have to offload a beast, which will go to another property, which we've organised to do. But I want to keep that beast here as long as I can before I do. Now, we've removed one beast from the property already because she's gone to visit the bull, and hopefully that's been successful. That's our new heifer, our young heifer. She's gone to visit a bull to get pregnant, and so she's already off. So we're already down. So when she comes back, which will be in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time probably, I will probably have to take off the steer, which is the same age as her, and then still monitor because, definitely monitor. And then I possibly will have to remove another beast, which will be the larger cow, and I need to fatten her up a bit first. So there's a bit of a juggle going on there of when. Well, I need to stop milking her and let her put some weight on, and then she'll be moved off. So she's going to end up in the freezer. The freezer's not ready yet, so maybe I might have to put her on another property for a bit as well. So we've got to have a discussion about that, and it's going to be very relative to my grasses, and that's really relative to how cold it gets. Because once it stops growing, now the paddock that they're going into today or just tomorrow, I just set it up tonight. Very lush, fresh grass. So they're going to crack it into there. But I've got to check the paddock, which is actually behind me, which will be the one after that, which will be about 12 or 13 days' time. They'll move into behind me. Here is it growing out. The bottom bit seems to be growing out pretty good, but up the top here where it was a bit drier, beg your pardon, it's looking drier because it actually was too wet when the cows are in there, so it's damaged that. And that happened actually the rotation before, so it might not be handled. So then I'll come through there a bit too quick because there's not a lot of feed there. Then the next one after that is it going to be ready. So you sort of got to juggle what's going on in their growth behavior, the paddock's growth behavior, ahead of yourself. And then I've got to watch my rotation. So I know I have to offload. So don't offload too late. Otherwise, the feed's going to get smashed in the cold and we'll really have trouble getting going again. Then all of a sudden it'll be spring and then they'll go. Will we have enough residual moisture? It's going to depend if we get a rain. And if we're having a colder winter, we might have frost. So that's going to set things back a lot more as well. I doubt if we'll get frost, but that could happen. We're probably overdue to get a frost. So if we don't get any more rain from now on for a long period of time, we'll probably get a frost. And so that's really going to set things back. If we get rain, then we probably won't get a frost. So because the moisture will keep things warm. We're having clear nights at the moment. We're just off full moon. So yeah, there's been a few clear nights. So that's what's made us brisk. We've got the fire going, of course. Just cranked that up. Haven't had it going all day. We've just been nice today. The other day we had it going all day, a couple of days in a row, because one, we had the cold, had a flu, and we wanted to keep warm. And also it was a bit cold weather-wise best of the time, so outside. So that's probably what's the main thing that on my mind at the moment. She's been doing seed planting for our syntropic section. We're not having great success with that. We're getting cold, I guess. We're a bit late with getting that going, but all of a sudden we're too cold. So
We're late getting that going because we had too much rain.
We were too wet. That's what held us up then. Everything got too wet and didn't want to get germinated properly or possibly burst the seed. And then now it's coming into cold. So we have got it set up in the full sun. But even our sunshine, we got a bit of overcastiness sort of it's not full sun. It's clear sky, not open skies, but not clear. So yeah, it's a little bit of fun and games. And we had to buy some seed. We had to buy several trays of seedlings, and they're not cheap. They've gotten quite expensive nowadays. So then you put them into the ground. You don't want them to fail. Now I did a very late desuckering in the syntropics, and doing that meant that I've compromised some of the larger trunks, and we've had a few fall over because we've hit winds. We've had a few winds occurring, a few breezy nights, and so we've had a couple of bananas fall over in the syntropics. So that's not cool because that's one's not too bad. The worst one that's down is not too bad, actually. It hasn't done that much damage, but if another one goes over, it's going to go right on the new seedlings, which we had to pay for. So we're sort of waiting to we want to see how they're going to get going. But again, it's a bit cold, so that's quite interesting. And we want to get some food happening. We seriously do. So a bit of mucking around going on there. Still down on volunteers. But however, a volunteer turned up for 4 weeks just today. So that she's been here a day before, a couple of weeks ago, and quite competent. So that will be good. And so we're getting her trained up as quick as we can to try and get the basic tasks done quicker and easier. And then and so she can learn the basics of that. They bought a property close by and want to move to that. So it's getting a bit of hands-on for this climate, and because we come from down south, so get hands-on for this climate so that they can get a bit of a comprehension of what they need to do on their space in there, which is not that far here, 10, 15, 20 minutes from here. Haven't been to that property yet, but I'll get there. So will to in due course. Excuse me. My ears are a bit blocked, so it's a bit hard to hear things. Okay, so pretty quiet chat tonight. As I say, I haven't been doing much exciting. We've just been chasing grass. Garden 4 has been very, very overgrown for a long time. And so Ben, our part-time volunteer at the moment, he's doing a bit of education here. He has been making access through that. We got a tour on Sunday, beg your pardon. We got this weekend. We got a tour. I'm doing a tour, and then Zaya and her band are doing a gig here. So we're possibly going to have a busy day on Sunday, hopefully. Hello, the cat thinks she's caught a mouse. Has she got one?
Yeah, she lost it.
Yeah, she brings the small mice in and then lets them go. It's always a bit of an ongoing. When it's a rat, no chance she's going to bring it in alive. She kills them, but it's her job to put the pressure on. Clever girl. Better now than middle of the night. So element in function. Don't play with your food. Silly cat. Yeah, so yeah, that's about where we're at. Just doing a bit of tidy up. So the next couple of days will be dedicated to tidy up because we got this tour. Because I just haven't got on top of the grass. It's been way too wet, and I've been busy on other things. And I had the flu. I've been out of action for about 4 days. Been out of action. Just gets you a little bit behind, and of course I haven't got full energy. And but that's okay. We're getting there. We're going okay. And I'm going to have a little bit of time out not this coming weekend, the weekend after. I'm going to head to WA to see family. So I've got to get the things in preparation for that. I'll be absent, so who's going to milk, where the cow's going to be. Got to work out my day pattern of the cow rotation to make sure that it's easier. Fences, hopefully have the most of the fences set up so that then they don't have to make too many decisions on the grazing pattern, and so I've got to have that in space. The goats are great. That's really easy. We don't have to worry about that too much. That's very sorted. And the guys are onto that. That's just the cows are the tricky one. So, and hopefully our new volunteer, hopefully she can do some milking. That'll be really convenient. Be able to get on top of that. Okay, so not much to say today. Yep, just the ongoing normal things that come up and regulate what we need to do and how to do it. And obviously been out of action and been focusing a little bit on the consults, which once I wrap this up today, I've got to get and do a sketch design for last week's event, last week's consult, and so I've got to get my head in that space. Yeah, so that's probably on our priority list at the moment. I'm going to wrap up for tonight, and then yeah, we can have a chat next week, and hopefully we've done something exciting and got a little bit of feedback. We'll get a bit of feedback possibly from our tour and our Zaya's music gig with her marimba band and their Zami. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I've got to set up a bit of a space for that. Okay, so thanks for your time and thanks for being in there. I know it's very quiet and not so informative, but as I mentioned, there was no questions come in and the chat's absolutely dead. So that's your ball court to get the chat happening. So I can't do much about that. Okay, thanks for your time, and we'll chat next week. Thank you. Bye.